Okay, I think we can wait for a minute or so more before we start. We have got certain audiences. I hope some more join, and then we can possibly take along. Okay, I think we can start. It's 2 minutes past our planned time, and thank you all for those who have taken time today to join us. My name is Amit Chaturvedi. I'm the Associate Director for Client Relations IDP, Education South Asia, and happy to have students with us. I know you would have some questions, and the reason why we have got this session today is to see if we can answer your questions and concerns in your journey to destination UK. And I thought it will be a right time, although we have been doing these sessions off and on. But yes, I think today we want to talk about more in terms of the announcements made by Government of UK or UKVI, where we will see that the government has made further relaxations for the people who are arriving from 4th of October onwards, 4th of October 2021 onwards. So what we'll do, I'll just speak for a few minutes, give you some insights, right? And then please use the chat box to send in your questions. I have my colleagues here. We'll try to answer as many questions possible to the best of our information available. Some questions which, for whatever reason, we are not able to respond to at the moment, we'll get you the answer. So those who don't get the answer, please drop in your mail addresses as well. One of my team members definitely will come back to you with an answer to you. So that's how we will take this session today. Now, what I thought is important for all of us to understand in these times is earlier the government of UK announced certain things where the mandate of spending time in quarantine was a must 14-day hotel quarantine. Then India was in the red list, so that's been relaxed. We went into amber list, and the quarantine duration and everything got relaxed further. Now, effective 4th of October 2021, 4 a.m. morning. So anyone who's arriving after 4 a.m. on the 4th of October 2021, the rules will further change. So there'll be only a red list and rest of the world. So countries which fall in the red list have to comply to the guidelines as per the red light system guidelines as laid by Government of UK. For all of us who travel from India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and some other countries, and not many other countries, I should say, they are not required to follow the red traffic light system on arrivals in the UK. So you really need to be very careful. It is going to make your journey into UK even more relaxed. So 2 or 3 big announcements which were made by the government, that of course what you need is to travel vaccinated with both the doses. So you should have your both shots, and your second shot should be at least 14 days prior to your travel. So that's a must. Please do not travel if it is even 13th day. Please plan your travel once you have completed your 14 days of duration after the second shot, right? 2, you are required to request everyone to mute, please. We'll take your questions, use the chat box. So if you have any question, you wish to share your thoughts, use the chat box. We'll take your questions and comments. So point number 2 is, as you are looking into arriving into UK, 48 hours prior to your travel, please fill in the locator form, the passenger locator form. That's important, right? 3, what has changed now is you only need to have a test for COVID on your second day in the UK, right? You are not required to have a second test, which was earlier on the 8th day. So that's a big relief for especially students. Of course, the quarantine process in England will remain the way it was. You can quarantine in your halls of residence or the place you have chosen to stay or live in for your tenure of education. So that doesn't change, of course, but you coming negative on second day will make your life much easy. So your movements will become free, you will be more comfortable, and there'll be less restrictions, right? So these really has been some very welcome announcement, because a lot of students and parents were concerned with regard to students spending time in quarantine. And I know for those who traveled earlier, when the guidelines were a 14 days quarantine, it was relatively difficult experience for someone to spend 14 days confined to a hotel room where you are not supposed to step out. Even the food, basic groceries, toiletries, and everything else will be served or given to you where you are. So, okay, there's a message. My voice is not reaching. Is that the case across? It is just a case with one of the guest of ours.
I can hear you, Amit.
Okay, so maybe I think Karthik, you need to change your connection, because all the other participants are able to hear, right? So now coming back to what I was trying to mention is basically we need to see that now it's your time to ensure that you are able to take advantage of you choosing to study in UK, where UK is welcoming you for a face-to-face class experience. So there is no challenge on you spending a lot of time or being worried around that you have to spend on online learning. So that relaxation has been announced long back. You have the window of traveling now. Other thing which I want to highlight for everyone is that for some students where there are some delays in CAS issuance, or there could be a delay in the issuance of visas, one I can always recommend that please use the priority or super priority visa services. At least that will ensure you get your visas in time, because that service has got a standard turnaround time defined when you pay a premium for those services. 2, for those where the cases are getting delayed, or you have already applied for visa in the normal process, my suggestion would be intermittently, please enroll for a hybrid program. And this hybrid does not mean that you have to do a month, 2 or 3 in a hybrid mode or online learning. It could be a week, 10 days, at best 2 weeks, because if your course start date is say, 10th of October, 5th of October, 17th of whatever it is, and you anticipate that the visa may take longer, or some of those who are waiting for a CAS to happen, and they think the CAS may take time, and then there's no choice but to defer for the next intake. In my opinion, it would be a waste of an opportunity, because you have got a great opportunity at the moment. Some of your choices of programs may not be available in the spring intake, which is the next intake in February 22. By the time if you wait for the September 22 intake, you will be actually compromising on a year of education, because if you take a decision now, by the time September 22 happens, you will be having your master's degree or the degree which you are going for. Generally, in most cases, those who are going for postgraduate programs. So the point I'm trying to make is that let's not look at a reason where you are required to defer. It could be a small window of 1 to 2 weeks where you may enroll for a online program, a hybrid model kind of a learning. Across IDP, counseling teams have been briefed about the institutions who are offering the hybrid support, considering that students world over has got a challenge of coming into UK for various reasons. We still in India has got a fantastic mechanism of people getting vaccinated and all, which is not the case worldwide. And likewise, other challenges which students do face when they plan to study abroad. Because, for example, I can tell you Sri Lanka is in lockdown. A lot of people are stuck because of their bank loans are not getting processed. So in such situations, people are, considerate. Institutions have given the leeway of arrival of students can be delayed, but they need to make a deposit and enroll for a hybrid program. So please don't worry that once you enroll for a hybrid program, you will have to continue in the hybrid mode and everything else. No, you are not required to continue like that. So that will be the key message for you all to ensure that you have got a right opportunity here where you can choose, or if you've made a choice already, you're waiting for CAS or visa to happen, please do not plan or think of deferring it. Because if you defer it now, you are actually losing a critical year of your life at this critical juncture. And for whatever reason, year down, when you want to apply for the same course, today you may have got a scholarship, today you may be eligible for those programs if the university changes the eligibility, or if the university has made other requirement changes, then you may have to compromise either the choice of institution or choice of program. So I suggest very, very strongly, please do not let go this opportunity. You have an opportunity. Course start dates have been extended further in most cases. Wherever the institutions are not extending the date, let me re-emphasize, you have an opportunity where you can enroll for a hybrid program. Duration could be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at best, because even if your course start date is mid of October and you expect your visa to get delayed by a week, 10 days, you will get your visa quickly. And after that, you can very well plan your travel. So that should not really concern and worry you much. These were some of the big updates which have come in from UKVI. I know there are plenty of questions which have come in. I'll do my best to pick up as many questions, and I'm actually going right from the top. People have posted their first questions. So those questions will be taken up. I'm not taking the comments where you have mentioned about talking to some individual as such. There's a question from Alan. This says, it's been 20 working days since I have submitted my application, and total of 28 days, but I haven't received any email of the process. My university registration is on 27 September. What steps should I? Alan, what is not clear is your 20 working days is for which application? Are you looking at holding your money for 28 days in for your funds, or you've made a visa application? So if you can please complete your message, I'll be able to respond to your message. Right. But your next question of will I have to stay 10 days home quarantine? Yes, home quarantine has become much easy in UK. So, even in your halls of residence or the accommodation which you have booked for yourselves to stay in your duration of education will be your place for your home quarantine. So just don't worry. It's simple now. Is Covishield accepted in the latest guidelines? There's a question by a student. I think it concerns everyone. Any vaccine which is approved by WHO is accepted. So Covishield definitely is accepted in UK. And if you know the background, of course, it's a AstraZeneca product. So definitely it is accepted in the UK. So those who have got Covaxin for some reason, they may have to struggle because that's not yet approved by WHO. Of course, the news update site may get approved any time, but until it is not approved, unfortunately, internationally, it is not yet acceptable. And then there's a question from Malav. Me and my friend have applied for UK visa on 18th August, and today it's been 20th September. Okay, so I think Malav's question is about delay in the decision on the visas. Malav, this is of course not in any way IDP's or anyone's control for you to get an update on the decision on the visas. What I can share with you is when I connected recently with my colleagues at UKVI, they were categoric that because of the unexpectedly high number of applications to be processed for students, the decision taken time has gone up. So it is not that your application will not be considered. It will be considered. It's just that the number of applications they have got or the number of applications they have got on this occasion are more than what they expected to process and the reason of the delays. But as I said, don't lose heart. It's a matter of maybe a week, possibly more. Things should get streamlined and you will get the decision on your application. Until then, if you have your course start date approaching, please let your institution know that you will be enrolling for the hybrid model. And as soon as you get the visa, you can travel. So you'll not miss much on your experience of studying in UK, maybe a week here and there. So that should answer your and many other concerns where people have this question around delay in visas. Because visa processing does not happen at IDP, you understand that, all of you. It's the decision by the government of UK, UKVI, UK Visa and Immigration, that's UKVI. There's a question which is good, I would say, by Ambade, where he mentions, I hope he is, right? So will there be a 5th day test to release scheme? No, it's no more required if you arrive into UK after 4 a.m., 4th of October, 2021 onwards. So there'll be only one test, second day of your arrival, one COVID test. So please ensure you have got your both shots and your second shot has been 14 days now before you travel. Well, Malav, as I said, no one knows how much time it will take for the visa, but I can only say the UKVI team definitely is doing everything possible to ensure they are able to give decisions on visa applications at the earliest. But of course, we at IDP are in no of information of timelines with regard to any individual application on the visas. I know there's a question from Anurag. Your daughter applied for visa on 25th, and of course, she would have had a day to travel. I understand, Anurag, but as I said earlier, UKVI has come out very clearly that they have got unprecedented number of applications, and that's the reason for delay in decisions. For those who have not applied for visas, let me reiterate, please see if you guys can make a choice of making a visa application in a priority or a super priority category. Your decisions will come as per the stipulated time, which is I think 5 days for the priority and 24 hours for the super priority visa. So this is a recommendation. I don't, say that that's the only way. Of course not. But this is just a recommendation for those who want to have uncompromised experience of they getting into UK and starting their course there, not really choosing to initially enroll for a hybrid thing and then join there. Though it doesn't make any difference. It's just a matter of you attending classes in a hybrid model, and these are basically inductions for first 1 week or two. So you don't miss much, but still, if I am a student, I would always like to start my first day at the campus. But in these difficult times, I think we need to be a little considerate around. And if there's a challenge, whatever solution is available, we can possibly look at how best we can utilize that bit. Okay, so all those questions which are coming to me directly or indirectly on visa, on delay on visa processing, I have answered, so I'll not pick up other questions on visas. Okay, I'm just scrolling down to look at something which is a different question maybe of use to the larger audience here. Well, there's again, Malav, your questions are like, I think you have not understood. You are required to pay a tuition fee. If you have to attend online classes, this typically means that you are going to be a full-time student of an institution. So if you are attending online temporarily for a week or two, you are ultimately getting to the institution. So if the institution has laid a guideline of paying a certain amount of tuition fee, I think there's no choice but to comply to the guidelines as set by the institution. Well, there's a question from Srijit. Can you explain the steps that I need to complete after my visa? Once you've got the visa, of course, you just need to fix your travel date. As per the late guidelines, you need to complete or fill the passenger locator form 48 hours prior to your travel. Once you arrive into UK now, if you are arriving after 4th of October, please ensure on the second day of the arrival, you take a COVID test, and you have to have your vaccination, both shots. The second shot should be 14 days prior to your travel, and which would ensure that when your reports come, you are negative and you are part of the larger crowd wherever you are in England. Ronish, I have answered the question. There's only one test required. And then, so I've answered Ishant's question as well.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Ishant.
Sir, I have a question that if a student is if the student has taken the COVID shield second dose vaccine in month of August.
Okay.
So what second dose?
Perfectly fine. See, it has to be 14 days prior to your travel. If it is 15, 20, 30 days, is perfectly fine. You are even safer.
So, sir, so we need to book the COVID test kit that is cost about £136. The student have to book before travel.
Yeah.
So the sir, you have said that relaxation in the only the day second of COVID test.
Second test of COVID, of course, a relaxation is a big relief. Because if your reports are negative on arrival, you will be more freely moving within and around campus and halls of residences and all.
So I need. So you are saying that we need to know to make a quarantine for 10 days. If on the second day we have
it is a relaxed. It is a relaxed because it's a home quarantine. It is not really a confinement to a hotel room. So it's somewhat relaxed quarantine.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, to continue on his question, so if I reach the UK after 4 a.m. of the 4th of October, and I take a COVID test on the second day and I test negative, can I still go and attend classes on campus, or should I be in home quarantine for 10 days?
See, it's a relaxed quarantine, but still you are required to be in home quarantine. Further guidelines, if the institution is fine with the requirements of you meeting the criteria and you turning negative on COVID test, they'll keep sharing the updates on your official email address, which you would have from the institution or you would have shared with the institution.
Okay.
For
Okay.
example, I was talking to a student earlier in the day, someone who has just arrived into Scotland, and for them, the kind of program they were doing, they were told that initially for 1 week or so, because they are still settling the institutional stuff, the classes will still be online for a week, and then of course they become face to face. So, these are not usual times. This is not what it was. Our lives used to be 2 years ago.
Yes.
So we just need to be, a little more accommodating with the changes. And I think UK has been, in a way, the government has been pretty liberal if I compare to a lot of other countries who have allowed students and others to come in. And they have given all the opportunity to students to mingle with the crowd as soon as the quarantine period gets over. Okay, let me just scroll down. I'm looking at...
Hello.
Okay, so I think my host put me on mute temporarily. Right, so I'm not answering questions which are repetitive in nature of someone traveling on a 1st of October, 2nd of October. I've clarified those things. So please look at those aspects which are self-explanatory in that case. I just want to pick up different questions which can possibly answer a larger audience. Right.
Hello, sir.
Kunal, if you can please put your question in the chat box, because I just want to go in order. Those who have sent their questions before you.
Okay, sir.
There's a question from Roshni Isaac. What you've mentioned is surprising news to me as well, where she has mentioned, and I'm just reading for everyone's interest, she applied for visa in the priority service category, but it's been a month she has not received the decision. Can you please put across, and this is my response to you, can you please put across a query to UKVI that the turnaround time is this much? What is the reason of the visa processing taking more? In my understanding, it is the scrutiny process of your documents which possibly has, put your decision or put the decision of UKVI on hold. So I don't know your specific case, but it happens if a case goes into scrutiny, the decisions are delayed. Sumit Pal, you said your course start date was 13 September. You submitted visa application 17th. As I said, please enroll for a hybrid program. As soon as you get the visa, there's no issue, you can travel. So that will be perfectly fine, right? There's another one called Ismail Sahota. Sir, I'm not vaccinated. Could you please tell me that I'm eligible to UK? You're not eligible, my friend. And I don't know what is stopping you to get vaccination, because my suggestion would be to go and take your first shot right today. And you being a student who has to go international, government has already made the provision that after 28 days, you can have your second shot. After that, you can travel. So I don't know what is the reason of you not taking a vaccine shot, but you'll not be able to travel. So please don't even take a chance, because it will be a waste of money. So there's a question by a student, of course, just the initials mentioned. I can't share the name as such. But the question is, if someone has to enroll in a hybrid mode, what would be the visa filing process? See, when you enroll into hybrid model, the visa filing process remains the way it is. There's no change. There is no relaxation, or there is no additional document required by a student to submit for visa processing. It remains what it is. There's no change. So please go by the standard operating process of documents required as they are laid down by UKVI. Funding as laid down by UKVI. You may enroll for hybrid for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever your duration may be, but it does not make any change in your status of while submitting a visa application. I think there is a question by Dhaval, but you have mentioned wrong dates, so please correct, then I can only comment on it. Well, on all the delayed questions, of course, as I said, I do not have the authority on behalf of IDP on behalf of UKVI to comment, because, of course, these two are different entities, IDP and UKVI. Well, there's a question which is, I think, of interest to some students who are not going on this occasion by Mahavir, who says, how hard is it? It should be how hard it is to get university accommodation for January 22 intakes. See, every institution in UK gives preference to those who are coming for the first time. So first year accommodation is always given preferably in the campus. It is only in some cases where you may not get a chance to stay on campus if you want to. But if you apply within the timelines as specified by the university or institution concerned, in 99.999% chance cases, you will get accommodation on campus. I hope that answers not just Mahavir's, but others also.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so my college is starting on 20th of September. I have applied my visa on 15th September. I've tried it, so can you please suggest? Kunal, I think you should get your visa decision. If not today, then maybe tomorrow or so, because you say you applied in priority. There was a weekend in between. So technically 5 working days, you should get a decision. So maybe in a day or two, you should get your decision. That's the process as laid by UKVI. But yes, there are exceptions. There are reasons for delays if the case is in scrutiny for some reason or otherwise. So that would be very difficult for me to comment on individual cases.
Achha, okay, sir. Can I speak, sir?
Do you have any other question, or if you can just put it across on chat?
Achha, okay, sir.
Go ahead, tell me, okay.
So the thing is, I have received my gas on 8th of September and have applied on very priority on 16th. But my college is stating that you have to anyhow reach on 27th in campus and you have to be quarantined for 2 days. So how is it possible, sir?
No, you can always write to them.
Yes, sir. I have sent them mail also, but they are not replying. I have sent them on Friday.
Which institution is that?
Kingston University, sir.
Kingston. Where are you calling from?
Sir, from India, Mera Road.
I know India, but Mumbai, Delhi, which place?
Yes, sir. Mumbai.
So if you are in connect with one of our counselors, I can only suggest, because the Kingston India office is in Mumbai. So we'll get you an update quickly.
So, okay, fine, sir. So can you please, because I have my IDP counselor, that is Anju ma'am, Anju Kedia ma'am. So shall I contact with her?
Please.
Okay, fine. Sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, sir.
Sahil, I'll appreciate if you can put your question in the chat box.
Swati, yes, sir. I already put my question in chat box.
Okay, I'm just scrolling down as early as I can because there are repeated
Okay, sure.
I need to read. Covishield still has 84 days of buffer. Swati, that's not true for international students. Government of India has made a provision if you are traveling international with the copy of your offer letter, you can go to the COVID center and vaccination center and you will get your vaccine in 28 days. So that's not true. So you don't need to wait for 84 days. For Jebin, I think you must understand if your funds complete a certain duration on a certain date and you go in priority, you will get decision in 5 working days as laid down by the UKVI.
Hello. Sir, on 23rd, I can.
No, I am not going into specific dates because that's your personal case, but just going through because whenever your funds mature as per the guidelines by UKVI, post that, if you go in a priority category, it takes 5 working days as standard time for UKVI to give a decision.
Okay.
Students with double shot of Covishield need to home quarantine or not. Of course, they are required. Arman Ji.
Hello.
Jevin, I've answered your question. You can put another question in the chat box.
Okay.
Anusha, your
Hello?
question is pertinent. Anusha, your question is pertinent. And the question is there any way to change your visa from standard to priority? Well, technically, there's no way you can change once you have submitted. Only exception could be you have paid a certain cost for your visa processing. If you wish to withdraw, you cancel your application, you get your documents back, and then you reapply in priority. It is not really a recommended method at the point. So if you have applied in a normal process, I would suggest please wait for a certain more time. You will get your decisions.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So I posted my question, but you just skipped it.
Yes, Roy.
Hello.
Yes, Roy. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's regarding my the visa only. I've applied it like almost like 35 days has passed since my application, and I'd mailed UKVI and they responded saying that a decision has been taken, but I haven't got any mail or such as to the delivery by VFS or such. So what do I do about that? Because UKVI has sent me a mail saying that the decision has been made. So how do I go about with that now?
When was that?
I'd sent the mail on Friday and I got the response on Saturday. So on Saturday I got
Monday,
a response.
No? So if something is in transit, I have taken a decision on a document, for example, on a Friday. I told you on Saturday that I have taken a decision. If, as per process, it gets into transit on Monday, and I don't know your location, wherever you are, it may take at least 24 to 48 hours for the document to get to the concerned VFS. Once the VFS has gone through the entire set of documents, checking them, then only the messages will come to you that you can come and collect it. So it is not an instant process.
Okay.
So please bear with and appreciate that if the decision has been taken, you will get, if not today, then maybe by Wednesday. Okay, I think rest all questions are repeat questions from what we have answered.
Yes, sir. So I have one question.
I've just got to the last comment.
Hello.
मेरे को थोड़ी है.
I think we have got someone who has unmuted. We can hear some background voices. These are all questions which were to do with the visa application dates, and as I've mentioned, visa application dates and the timelines taken are at the discretion of UKVI. Of course, we at IDP cannot really comment on how much time it will take, but as updated by UKVI, it may take a little extra time then, because 15 days also, please understand, is 15 working days, which is 3 weeks. Please do not misunderstand it by that 15 days would mean 2 weeks. 15 days means 3 working days, weeks, right? So expect technically after 21st day. So that's for your information, because at times we assume 15 din bola hai, so decision will come in 16 days.
Hello, sir. Please, I'm Sahil. Please answer my question.
Sahil, I've answered your question.
When, sir? I didn't hear.
Because I have not just once, but I have answered your question twice.
No, sir. You are
okay.
talking to.
Tell me what's your question. Tell me.
So my question was, when will I get my when I will get my cash letter? Is 40 days, 45 days completely already?
45 days you have requested for a cash letter?
Yes, sir.
Which institution?
Sir, UCLan, University of Central Lancashire.
Okay. And there's no communication?
So I have communication with my counselor, but also she said you get your cash letter as soon as possible, but I didn't get. And also I called so many times in UK office, and also they said we have some issues to get your cash letter, but we will send you as soon as possible. But still,
what is the issue? What is the issue? Because unless you tell me what's the issue, then only I can comment.
So I also don't know what is the problem they have faced. I also don't know.
Because without details, Sahil, it will be difficult for me to comment what it's taking so long for a cash to be issued. Where are you based?
So I am from Himachal.
Okay, and who have you consulted, been counseled by?
My consultant is Meenu from Jalandhar office. I did.
Okay, so I have my colleagues here. They have taken down your details. Sahil Vashisht,
yes, sir.
Counseled by Meenu from Jalandhar, right? So we'll get your details, and I'll get it chased with UCLan directly.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we have run out of the time we agreed for this.
So one last.
Yes, tell me. There was someone who was asking a question.
Yes, sir. This is Kunal Pandey, sir.
Yeah.
So my college has stated that on 28th of September, anyhow you have to reach there. And in my case, they have stated that only 2 days quarantine I have to be, because I have taken my both the vaccination and I have completed 14 days and first PCR test also. Okay. But the thing is, my visa I have applied for priority as I have stated earlier also. But in case if they are not accepting, or if in case I have been reaching the late, so will they be accepted? Because I have sent the mail.
Sorry, I missed the last line. I missed the last line.
So I have sent my mail to the university also, and I have sent my mail to the respected director also of my course. But if they will be accepting my thing and late, so will I be able to reach there?
See, for you to reach there is no challenge, but my suggestion is, I do not know what duration it will take for a visa decision to happen, right?
Okay, sir.
If you think it is getting delayed for some reason, please write to your institution that you temporarily are enrolling for a hybrid model program, starting the course online, a week, 10 days down whenever you have got your visa in hand, get your tickets and travel.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, if I have any other queries, shall I
please connect with the concerned counselor?
Or something?
Please connect with a concerned counselor.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, all of you. As I mentioned, I have some of my other colleagues also here. So if you guys have any other questions which I couldn't answer today, or if these are afterthoughts from this discussion, please take it to your concerned counselor of IDP, and I can assure you, we'll get you the solution. Of course, we can't get you a solution on you getting a visa, but yes, unprecedented delays on CAS, or if there's a request wherever institution is agreeing to offer a hybrid program for you to get enrolled in a hybrid model, we'll do our best to get you that support. So with that, let me conclude and say thank you for your time today. And we'll keep connecting with such sessions with all our students. So thank you again for your time. Good luck. Thank you.